Okay, we're recording, and this is our Q&A call post the corporate call that you guys just popped off of a little bit ago to hear about all the wonderful enhancements that are coming. So I would love to hear what you guys' favorite things and what you're super excited about. If you want to just pop them in the chat thread, that would be fabulous. Jess and I will share some of our favorite things and what we're excited about with it. We will have a time for Q&As here in a little bit, but first let's kind of popcorn style. I might be calling on a couple a couple of people. Let me just check really fast. There's people still hopping on. Oh, Angie and Kathleen, they have their pom-poms. They're not disappointing tonight. Awesome.
Perfect.
Okay, fabulous. Well, Justin, do you want to just kind of recap really quick what is going on?
Sure. Okay. I need to
So,
on the screen.
here, we'll put it on speaker view.
Okay. Here we go. Are we
This is
ready?
how it looks. Yeah.
Oh, looks strange. Okay, we got a strange looking screen.
The speaker view does not show us.
We're going to go anyway.
Show someone else.
Well, first off, so some of you have heard already about the compensation plan changes. You're not supposed to say change. It's supposed to be modernization. But regardless, it's a change, but it's a good change. So some of the things, many of the things that are going on, I guess one of the things that has been a plus for Plexus has been their compensation plan up until now. It's been a great compensation plan, and in the industry, it's a great compensation plan because it's sustainable. So what does that mean? Well, a lot of companies in this industry pop up, and then they're gone. Another company will pop up, and they're paying people all this crazy money. Quit your team, quit your company, come to us, and we'll give you a bonus. Well, that's just not sustainable business. And a lot of times, I think one of the reasons that a lot of companies in network marketing go out of business isn't because of product issues. A lot of times it's a compensation plan issue. They just can't afford, like their compensation plan just doesn't work, or it's just not sustainable over time. Thankfully with Plexus, it has been sustainable for over 10 years, and which is huge in this industry, because 10 years in this industry for a company is a milestone for a healthy company. So those are all good things. However, as we move forward with these changes, these modernizations, as I'm supposed to say, though it just makes it more sustainable. And here's a couple reasons why. One reason is this: there are indeed pyramid schemes. There are pyramid scheme companies that are out there. We are not one of them. There are some that are operating right now. I won't mention their name. I don't expect them to be in business much longer, Q Science. And so other than that, just wait, it's coming. So anyway, here's the thing. We're having these updates to the compensation plan. And one of the things is, like I mentioned, pyramid scheme. A pyramid scheme will they don't offer really product, or product is kind of a side. Oh yeah, we have some products too, but you can come over and you can make a lot of money and you can gain rank really fast. There's no real trading of product. It's just come on over and you'll rank up. That would be a little bit like a pyramid scheme. And the cool thing is,
Front-loaded.
Yeah, and a front-loaded compensation plan. Like if, you know, in this industry, basically, if you come over to our company and bring all your team with you, we'll give you a $10,000 bonus or whatever. Some companies do that. However, Plexus doesn't do that, thankfully, because they have integrity. And one of the things is, with this pyramid scheme idea, is the government is looking for companies that are indeed pyramid schemes, and they will shut them down. And they should. They're a ripoff. And they're ripping people off. So the government is looking to shut those types of companies down. And actually the industry that we're in, it's called the direct selling. It's the Direct Sales Association is the association that we're kind of involved in. They actually work with the government, and they want to shut down the pyramid scheme companies as well. Now, one of the things the government will look at is customers versus ambassadors. How many customers of your product do you have versus how many ambassadors do you have? We'll see. I know when the compensation plan, when we first come on, they had a picture. Maybe some of you will know this, but it said 65% customers, 35% ambassadors. And I always wondered why. Okay, and like, what am I supposed to do with that? Well, in this industry, that's a healthy thing. You have to have the correct ratio of customers to ambassadors. And one of the things that this comp plan move is going to do, it's just going to help us to be more compliant with government authority, which is huge. I mean, because they can come shut these, if you have to play by the rules, and we have been, and this just puts us ahead. We were already compliant, but what this move does is it puts us like light years ahead of the rest of the industry. Like it's a really smart move for many reasons. So from a corporate standpoint, it's a long story of explaining that, but if you have more questions about that, you can ask me or send me a message or whatever, we can talk about it. But
it was needed. So
from a corporate standpoint, it was an excellent move, especially if some of your competitors are going to get shut down for doing the opposite. It's just a brilliant move. It's kind of like maybe kicking a guy while they're down. I think it's a cool move. Anyway, as far as what's this for us, now what's this do for us? What's some cool things that I like about this that it does for us? It gives us the people on our team, and some of you who are working the business and pushing and doing all the things and going through your back office. You have this group of people that has been in your virtual office for years, like the 50 to 99 PV ambassadors that, you have the one ambassador that has like 98 PV a month or whatever. They just won't order, you'll even beg them like, I'll order the product I'll just pay for it. Just, whatever. And so you can get the points. Well, the cool thing is now we're going to get points. We're not going to get PV any longer for the 50 to 99 PV ambassadors. We're going to get points on them. And I think that's a big deal. I know that a lot of ambassadors have been asking for that for a long time. And that's a good thing, because honestly, if we had an ambassador that had less than 100 PV, from a business perspective, they added no value to our business. All their PV and all the money that they would have to purchase their products went straight to the corporate office. We got nothing. And
it did help the pay point. So
right.
There's that.
So it's a good thing. I think that's a good thing so we get points for ambassadors with less than 100 PV. Just a couple more quick things. Preferred customers. So this is something I think that is great. We're going to get points for preferred customers now instead of PV as well. Now, the cool thing about this that I like is we don't just get points for our level 1 preferred customers. We get points all the way down to level 7 on preferred customers. So a couple reasons why I like that. One, it's more points. So that helps with rank ups. It helps with that sort of thing. But also, right now, you can't see who the preferred customers are in your team. We have no idea. Like I see Gretchen, for example. I have no idea who the preferred customers are on her team, but I'm about to. And so the cool thing about this is not only do we get points now off of preferred customers in our organization, we're also going to be able to see these people and who they are in our virtual office. So that's like a whole army of people that you can taproot, that we don't even know exist at this point on our team or in our organization. I think that's a really big deal. There's so many other things I think that are great, and we probably will cover that as we talk. But the rank advancements and the re-ranks that are going to happen, in some cases just automatically for not doing any work. It's just like a bonus.
I mean, they did the work.
Already. Right. So I mean, with the update, we'll see a bump in points, which is a really good thing. It's exciting because, as we all know, we've all been in this long enough that we know that rank ups and re-ranks and keeping and holding rank are extremely encouraging. They're motivating, and so I think that there's just so many. I think there's a lot of things. I think June is going to be. I think June's going to be a great month. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And the cool thing is, like, these points are going to come just from the compensation plan change. But if we add work to that, well, this is like free momentum.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, it's just like Plexus is like, hey, here's some more free momentum. Good luck, go. But if we really want to take advantage of it, we're going to have to, dig deep and make some things happen.
Yeah, and I really like what John Z said, and this was one of my wins. What I'm excited about is that the fast start clock does not start ticking until they start to share.
Correct.
So it doesn't start until they add their first ambassador, and then at that point, it's like, okay, you have 30 days to add 2 more people, help 2 friends. We can do that. Which, like, for example, my sweet friend, designer friend, who I just met a couple months ago, is helping me with decorations in the house. Well, she didn't get started right away on her product, so we're like at the wire trying to get her 3 people by Friday, because somehow it's like her first 30 days are almost up. So I think that is huge, huge, huge.
Yeah.
Amber asks, do the rank points stay the same? Can you expound what you mean by that? And then,
like the same amount of points it takes to hit a rank?
Oh.
Yeah, does that stay the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, all those stay the same, yes.
But just naturally, like for people, I know some people don't ever sign customers, but if you have signed some customers, then those people are going to count as points for you. And then the fact that we get points on partial PV people, huge. That's ginormous.
Yeah. And 6 points for level 1s with 100 PV or over 100 PV or higher. So that's cool. Yeah.
Okay, Angie. I'm putting Angie on the spot.
Way to go. Get the pom-poms. Let's fire the, yes.
There they are. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, are you game for sharing a little bit about what you're excited about?
Yes, I am. I am so excited about being able to promote 1 or 2 products. Kathleen and I were just talking about this tonight, and I have some people that order like 3 products and it still does not give them 100 PV. So that's going to be huge. And honestly, I don't just promote, say, well, if they want just slim, obviously we just bump them up to wholesale because it's a better deal. But like just collagen, so many people love collagen, but I don't really take the time to promote something individually like that, because we don't get that much. We weren't getting credit for that, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So I love that aspect of it. Being able to just hone in on those and figuring out, how we can get, promote 1 product, get someone in as a customer. And I know this has already been mentioned, but I love the fact that their fast start doesn't start until they decide that they're going to share. That is going to be such a huge thing because, like me, when I first signed up in April, I didn't start sharing until June, the middle of June. I don't know, whenever Jan signed up, something like that. So, but even back then, we didn't have the same sort of fast start that we have now. So that was big. I love that aspect of it. And then, of course, less than 100 PV. And the 6 points is huge because, like, a lot of my focus is on level 1s. And so that's going to be huge to be able to add just 1 more point in that. And I do have a question. So the PV for wholesalers and preferred customers, on the chart that I printed out, it says starting June 1st, those are the same. But do we know what that PV is going to be? Because when you look at the chart, it's obviously there's different PV for preferred customer versus wholesale. But and will the price remain the same for both or no?
I have no idea. Carrie Netherton. Where's Carrie?
The product, so the product PV for preferred customers and ambassadors will be the same. As far as like ProBio 5 will be the same as a preferred customer as it would be for an ambassador.
So I wonder if they'll like take the wholesale PV amount or the preferred customer. Because that we were just looking over the chart.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll make a difference on what I personally start promoting right away. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Angie, if I can jump in a second, as I understood it from what I heard, is they are taking the preferred customer PV to the wholesale PV. And then in phase 2, which will then be the VIP customer, their prices will become the same as the brand ambassador. So for now, their pricing will stay the same, but the PV will move to the wholesale ambassador PV, and then they'll become identical in September.
Okay. I assumed that it would probably drop down to the wholesale PV, but I wanted to check so I'd know for sure. Thank you, Jan.
There's
Hey, Megan, I heard you say my name. Sorry, I was getting after a little girl at that moment. I did not hear if you asked me a question. I just heard you say my name.
yeah. Well, Jan answered it, so we're good.
Oh, perfect. Sorry about that.
Yeah. There are 2 phases, so those of you,
Right.
Just keep that in mind. Phase 1, basically, you're getting more points in June, and then phase 2 is where September 1st. That's when the Social Security is not going to be required anymore. The enrollment flow is going to be awesome. The preferred customers are going to be retitled, and basically the way people come in is going to be revamped a little bit, which is honestly more true to what people actually are. So they're not going to become brand ambassadors until they show that they're taking business building activity or what actions, basically, which makes sense because I feel the way it is now, people are like, oh, no, I don't want to be an ambassador because I don't want to share. And I think in people's mind, that's what that means. And so we're basically just retitling and putting people in the correct buckets, which I think is brilliant. And we're getting paid off all of those wholesale people that are essentially customers, and they should be called such. So yes. Okay. Carrie, are you able to share some of your favorites? Or are you in the height of putting children to bed?
Hey, I'm putting children to bed, but I can pop in favorites. I feel like all my favorites have been said.
Okay.
I like what Jess was talking about. I've always felt like it's missing not being able to see the preferred customers, and I love that we're just going to be able to see that, and like you said, Taproot, and that's just a whole nother group of people that we'll be able to see. And I do like what you just said also about the wholesale people really being customers and not the other. So anyway, yeah, I think everybody's taken all my favorites so far. But
yeah, and guys, if you have anything,
do you think?
Hop in the chat thread in terms of what you're excited about or what you have questions on. Feel free to ask that.
So
the points, do you think the points will still be worth $2.50 to $3? So yeah, we can talk about that really quickly. Do you have that written down? So there's going to be a shift with, let me see if I can find it. Okay, the pay point is most likely going to dip because we're now getting paid on
more
partial
points.
EV people. Yeah. And we're getting
So-
more points. So it's one of those, it'll be a 3 to 5% dip, most likely, based on all of the, possible, probable reports that have been run. But on average, people are going to see a 20 to 22% increase in points. And again, that's average. Justin and I, when our projections were run, our personal points weren't quite that high in terms of increasing, but everybody has a different team structure. Some teams sign more customers. And so everybody has, there's some variations with that.
I want to answer a question there. We have some questions before we get too many questions in the chat. Okay, rank points stay the same, yes. Okay, so Kayla is asking, is commission on personal PV still 15% for 100 to 499 PV? Or are they bumping it to 25% across the board? I don't think there is a change in light of personal PV. I don't believe, but let me write that down, and I'll double check that tonight or in the morning, and just to make sure. But I don't believe that is going to change. One thing that will change, though, so we know in light of the compensation plan, is that, so for example, let's say if I have whatever 1,000 PV. Right now, there is a thing in there as a retail rewards override, which means 5% of all my PV goes to my upline. That's the same way for everybody currently, but starting in June, that will go away. So that retail rewards override part of the current compensation plan will not go forward in June. That'll be ended.
So when the enrollments change, is there a way to ask about meds and allergies before suggesting products? Do you mean on the corporate end, as people are filling out the questionnaire and then being referred to a particular welcome pack?
Yes, because I saw it kind of look different. Like they would go through there and they'd ask some questions and then they would suggest a product, but I just didn't know if you would. I feel like that connection is kind of gone, so I didn't know if there was still a place where they said they could opt out of it, but if someone has a shellfish allergy and they order Ease.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know. And I personally, I think that's a great enhancement, especially if you just want to send someone your link. But I still I'm not going to necessarily change a whole bunch of how I do my business, because I want to connect with them personally, and that would be a question that I would probably ask them if they're wanting to go that route. But I do like the ease of, basically it's a funnel and it's automated. So it can, kick out some product recommendations based on what the people say their health goals are. But I do think that is something key for them to consider asking. So if an ambassador is just really a wholesale customer and not sponsoring, will they revert back to a customer? So everybody that's currently in the system now, they're going to stay that way. So there's not going to be all this mass exodus of wholesalers from your back office that switch over. So what's currently there is there.
Right. And I think one of the things that they're wanting to do, they're rolling out these 2 phases. And one of the things that they're wanting to do in the first phase is they are wanting, what they're trying to do is change behavior. Basically right now, pretty much the majority of the company signs up ambassadors, whether they're technically an ambassador or whether they're not. A lot of the people that are ambassadors currently should really be customers,
because they're not sharing.
But we didn't get paid off of them. So it's like, well, I can't rate. So we worked the system, and we just signed ambassadors, and we've done that. That's been really, that's been our culture since we've started. But one of the things they're wanting to do at this point with these first 90 days, so June, July, August, is to really change behavior and start putting people in the right bucket. if they're going to work the business, if they're going to share, then they should be a wholesale ambassador. If they're just wanting to take some products,
Not wholesale.
huh?
They would be an ambassador. You said wholesale.
Wholesale ambassador, business builder. It's
Okay.
like all the same bucket,
Okay.
right? So
Right.
but if they're just wanting to take the products, they're not wanting to share, they're not wanting to be involved at all with networking or marketing, then they should be a customer. So a lot of this first 90 days is really a change of behavior and just putting people in the right buckets. And we probably should, because come September, like everybody that comes in is going to come in as a customer. That's just the way things are going to be. Everybody's going to be a VIP customer when they come in,
Mm-hmm.
unless you sign them up as retail, which I don't know if I've ever signed anybody up as retail since I've been in this now for over almost 6 years. I don't think I've ever signed a retail customer, but whatever, it's just too expensive.
Okay, so Rachel's asking, so you mean the projected end results were less paid? No, there is going to be somewhat of a pay point drop, like the pain point can potentially dip, but the increase, because more points are going to be happening, there still is going to be an increase in payout.
Right.
So hopefully that makes sense.
We'll know more come
July 15th.
June 30th or July 15th when they we get done with all the June numbers. We'll have a better idea then.
So all of the projections were based off of the March numbers, which they said will be somewhat reflective of what June will be like, because it's the end of Q2. Everybody's rushing to go sign up their 6 people and that kind of thing. When someone's renewal comes up, can we recommend that they re-enroll as a preferred customer for cheaper if they are a wholesale ambassador? I just remember Genevieve saying you don't need to go massively downgrade all of your wholesale people.
Yeah, I don't know
to
that I
preferred
would.
customer. Yeah.
I don't know that I would. I don't know that it's worth it. Because even, well, I guess it depends on where they are with their PV. But
yeah, because you could potentially make points off of their partial PV. And partial PV people, I guess less than 50 PV will still be boosting the pay point.
Right.
Any other quick questions, guys, or anything that you're excited about that you heard on the call?
Hey, I'm sorry, I have my video off because I'm driving. I hope you can hear me okay, but I am so excited and loving all of this, but I have a question. I might not have been, I'm not sure if it's been covered yet on the perks program. Can you hear me okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so are the perks still, are we still encouraging people to be at 100 PV for perks, or do perks apply if you're a brand ambassador regardless of your PV? Like if you're at 50 PV, do you still get perks?
I don't know.
Did anybody hear that? Jan, did you hear that on the call?
I'm pretty sure that stays the same, that people have to have a 100 PV subscription. I'm pretty sure nothing changed with the perks, because I remember them talking about that on the Jewel call and saying that that was the same. So like you're saying, Hannah, there's still that incentive for people to have 100 PV. That's still going to be our same game plan, like as an
okay.
Yeah, it's just kind of a nice win-win though for those people that are not going to have 100 PV. One, we're getting points and benefiting, but also they're boosting the pay point and they're getting what they want. So it's just kind of a win-win for everybody. Yeah, hopefully that helps.
So one
Absolutely.
thing that does change with that is preferred customers don't get perks now, but the VIP customers or preferred customers in the second phase will be able to get perks.
As long as they're at 100.
As long as they have the right amount of PV, correct. So that's a good, that's a great thing for just someone who's just loving their products and that's all they want to do. That's a great perk for that group of people in our organization for sure.
And we're in charge of our own commission qualified 100 PV now, right?
Mm-hmm.
The customers. Okay.
So people need to make sure that they're not just relying on a customer to
Yeah.
commission qualify them.
Right. And also, that's just a great thing, because the best people that work this business and are succeeding at this business are on the products.
Right.
Like, they're a product of the product, so they can, so it just makes sense. It's, I think that makes sense. One thing I thought was cool, and I hope I have this written down right. I have so many papers here. I don't even know which one to look at. But some of I think the cleaning up of the welcome packs, I think, is a really great idea too. And having a good, better, best option. It seems like, if I remember right, it's a $99, $199, $299 welcome pack. So that's pretty awesome. That's going to be coming in phase 2. I don't know if they shared that on the call today or not, but that'll be cleaning up welcome pack options.
More people will go for that middle of the road.
More people would go for the middle of the road.
Yeah.
So now, not only have you got the single product like Angie was talking about, which I think is great. I think that brings, it's, well, I don't know how many, well, who's on?
What are you going to say?
Well, who knows? You never know what I'm going to say, but it's like a gateway drug. You get the, you got the, the one product, you get them in, whatever. And I think that's great. That's a great option to have, because I never shared one product, and it's because I didn't really, I just didn't. And so I think that's going to be a really great benefit, especially for guys. I think being able to offer one product to a guy is going to be huge. I just think I'm so excited about that. But the welcome packs, so you got one single product you can offer. You can offer $99 welcome pack, $199,
$109, right?
$109.
Right now, it's
$209,
special.
$309.
Yeah. Maybe
is what it's going to be. So that's just a lot more great options, I think.
Mm-hmm. And I'll say, for me personally, the one product option, that's the beautiful thing about this business, is you can work out how you want it. For me personally, I'm like at least a 4-product person. So like when I'm helping someone get started, I'm just like, if you're not willing to try 4, at least just wait. But that's how I do it. And the cool thing is, if you have people that just come in on the kids combo for like 50 PV. I know Carissa has had a bunch of people hop in for the kids combo, and it's, I don't know, 50 PV or something. And so that's the cool thing, is if that makes it easier in your mind to help people come through the doors with a smaller combo, and then, you help them get started on some other ones eventually, that's great. For me personally, I'm still going to at least recommend, a 109 pack with a bonus product, or encourage the bulk packs as well. Because to me, in my opinion, when you can get a more comprehensive view of Plexus, when you can try multiple products and then pick out what the favorite ones are, and to me, like, bulk ordering just makes sense, because you get more bang for your buck, right? So yes, yep. Okay, good things. Let's see. Melody, I saw that you piped in. Do you want to share? I know you've been on multiple calls with the Jewel call and different calls you've been on since hearing about this. Do you want to share? Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Do you want to share something or anything that you are excited about, or maybe an actionable step that you're doing to help maximize the next phase?
Yeah, sure thing. I have 2 things right now that I'm working on, and it's got me all excited. So I'll just share those really quick. One is sending thank you cards to people that have been around me or buying from me for a long time. So even if they're a customer and they've just been buying collagen or something, I'm going to send them a little handwritten note and just thank them for trusting me, for purchasing from our business, and how excited I am for them working on their health and making that a priority, right? I think that any of those personal touches are really important right now, and that really encourages people and makes them feel special that you thought of them, right? So that's one thing I'm working on. I think that I guess my strategy with that is the more I am kind of building those touch points with my people, the more I know that they're going to stick around more likely, and also be open to trying new products that they haven't tried yet. So that's kind of my strategy there. And then the second thing is individual coaching calls, or even just individual messaging with the ladies on my team that want to grow this. Because if you don't know what your next step is, if you don't know how many points it is to your next rank, or what your next goal should be, you're going to feel overwhelmed with this information, possibly. At least I had done that myself. I felt like, what's next? I don't know how to get there. But I remember Megan helping me so much and messaging me like, okay, where are you at? Okay, what are you afraid of? What's holding you back? And just kind of working through some of those questions. And that helped me so much. So I feel like that's really important right now. If we're planning a big June, which we all are, we want to be in the trenches with our people one-on-one, helping them see the vision. What's their next step? What are their next point goals? What are they going to do to get there? So anyway, that's what I'm excited about.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. And we talked about this on the team call at the beginning of May, and I've been sharing it multiple places, just some actionable steps to be taking. So if you have a pen and paper, I'm going to give you a list. I'm going to give you the list again, because sometimes we have to hear it repeated multiple times. I feel like we've been talking about the customer appreciation note cards all month long. But if you haven't taken action on that little to-do that a lot of us have been talking about, put it on your list and do it before the end of the month, because it's only going to add value and encourage the wholesalers and the customers on your team. And for me personally, it was anyone that had PV in Q1. So customers and then ambassadors under all three accounts. So, sorry. Okay. So I already posted the wording that we have been using. Carissa Casey's, basically it was her brainchild, and then we took it and tweaked it a little bit. And then we had that little card that we added in. It was like a printed little paper of just a value adding little top tips for if you've been dealing with, symptoms from all the craziness of the past year, things like that. So the thank you cards to customers, reconnect with your level ones, connect. That's what this business is about. And sometimes we just have to hear it verbalized. But like Melody was saying, help your business builders map out their next rank up, help them host an event. Mm-hmm. Connect with people that have been discouraged in their business and ask if they would be game for getting restarted, and help them take that next step. Make a post, make a list, message, invite. It's the same stuff over and over and over. That's the things that we've been doing in our business for the past 6 years that move the needle forward, right? But sometimes we have to walk along with people to help them see, to restart, let's make you a post, okay? Okay, next thing, let's make a list. Go make a Hot 20 list, okay? Let's host you an event, okay? Simple things like that is what's going to make things move forward. And I think Melody was right, just spot on when she said sometimes there's a certain demographic of people that will be listening to all of this stuff and then you just get paralyzed. And we don't want you to be paralyzed, because basically all you need to be doing right now, just like you have been doing hopefully up until this point, is just work your business. Because that's just going to be added momentum onto what you're already doing in the month of June. And so I would say, if you have not created a survey, type in the word survey on the team page and my wording for the survey will pop up. You can send that out to your level ones, or if you want to send it out to your entire team, you can use a texting system if you want. And one thing I liked, one of the diamonds shared that she did like a $25 giveaway to anybody, or a drawing to anybody that replied with basically their reply to the little survey, right? Kind of a where are you at type of thing. And I mean, those types of things are only going to help retention. It'll help restarts. It'll just spark the fire within your team to create the momentum that you want for rank ups to come, right? So a couple of things to be looking at is who in your team has partial PV, who has 0 PV, and when was the last time you reached out to those people, right? Another thing would be sharing the business with active ambassadors, people that are loving their products, they're ordering well over 100 PV. when was the last time that you asked them if they were ready to share? Or find out what their health wins have been, and then say, you know what? I am positive you have people in your circle that would love to have those same types of results. If I sent you what to say, would you make a little post and tag me? Okay, so there's a little actionable step where it's not just, hey, you ready to work the business? But it's almost like, let's just dip their toe in. You know what I mean? If you have not made a dream team list, when we get off this call, I would challenge you to get a little sheet of paper and make a dream team list. People that have yet to join your team that you want to work this business with. Guys, like Justin said on their team call, the statistic is 7 out of 10 people that you walk past on the street are thinking about starting their own business. Why not help them to get started with this? Guys, it's so super duper simple in light of what we have. And there's no cap with this, with how much you can make. So like, it makes so much sense. E-commerce is popular. Social selling is trending. Like, so many things are aligning for the perfect storm for business builders to join and to be as successful as they want to be. So,
right. Couple questions.
Okay, two other things really quickly for actionable steps if you're taking notes. I will get the template for this posted on the team page, if not tonight, tomorrow morning. But there is a customer appreciation event that I would challenge each of you to host for your level one customers / wholesale people. Okay, it's super duper cute. And if you get that duplicating down on your entire teams, think of all the appreciation and love your people are going to feel from you. So I will get that template posted, and I would encourage you to host that before, well, like in the next 2 weeks. And then for me personally, something that I am setting myself a challenge to do is to schedule as many in-person events here locally as I can, but from now until convention. Because I was just reminded, I did 2 back-to-back events for my friend Laura, and it was just a reminder to me because I had a new girl, which is my designer friend. She just on a whim, like I called her last minute, like, hey, Kristen, can you come? Can you pop over to Laura's event? And she did. She came over to her house and sat there, and Laura was amazing at sharing just the products. They shared health testimonies, and then she had a chart you guys probably saw on the team page. She mapped out the Power of 3 for her team and for anybody that was there listening. But how much you can glean from being in an in-person event is like, you can't even explain that. And so if you have wholesale people that are like just started their products or whatever, like, get them to an event. An in-person event is so belief building, and you can cover miles in one little hour-long in-person event than you could, online. So just an encouragement to get in person with your peeps. So, all right, did you want to field a couple questions?
Yeah, there's a couple questions in the chat. I want to make sure we get answered here, and then I have a couple things. I was texting while we were on the call here, but I was texting a guy at the corporate office to answer one of the questions earlier, and I'll give the answer to that here in a second. So there was a question Gina Dunn had asked. So the VIP customers will now be offered welcome packs. That'll be in phase 2. So I wanted to answer that. And another one says, in phase 2, everyone will be enrolled as VIP first until they start sharing, correct. In phase 2, there's 2 options. You can sign them up as retail customers or VIP customers. That would be the 2 options. So the retail customer world is still alive and well, but again, like, I don't know that I have ever signed one up, but maybe, who knows? And I don't know that you have to now with the way things are structured with the VIP customer option. I don't know. And not needing social security numbers and all those extra things. I think, you don't really have to do the retail side. But so that answers those 2 questions. There was a question earlier about personal PV. If you have 100 to 499, will it still pay 15%? And if you have 500 or above, would it pay 25? The answer is yes, it still will. And that contributes to your own commission. to be commission qualified, I want to mention something else also. The VIP customers won't count towards you being commission qualified, but the retail customers, if you have any, will. That'll still stay the same in the retail customer world, if that makes sense. If you have not printed any of the sheets off, that say phase 1 and phase 2, what stays the same and what will be modernized, I would recommend printing those off and studying those. There's just a lot of things to know. And the cool thing is, basically anybody that you sign up starting in June signs up in this new compensation plan world. So, which is kind of, they don't have to relearn or unlearn something and learn something new. So it's kind of cool. So we need to be studying this. I need to study it more. There's some things I'm not 100% sure on yet, but I have it all printed out and I'm researching it and finding things out. So that was I wanted just to share those two things.
Does anybody else have any questions? Just pop them in the chat, or you can unmute. I do know that someone had asked Cassandra this question. This is so great. I'm so excited. How do I pivot? And then Ryan said, no need to pivot. Just keep doing what you're doing. And a couple other people chimed in. Encourage great customer care for all PV people. Start loving on all the people and talking about products you love all the time, is what Sally said. And then Carissa said, post, reach out to everybody who engages with your posts, start new conversations, follow up on old conversations, and sponsor people, and then see what happens. So the bottom line is work your business. Mm-hmm. And then there'll just be a little oomph to the work that you're doing.
And I just want to add one thing. I just got back from Scottsdale. I was there last week and then into the weekend and had an amazing time. Met with two guys from the corporate office, met with a couple different friends, an old high school friend, or old junior high friend, actually. I met with another network marketer from a totally different world. He was a boss in Herbalife back in the 90s in their heyday. So I was just learning from him some new things. And I met with a guy from Canada who lives in Scottsdale. He's an Emerald. He went Emerald from between November of 2020 and April or
oh, he started in November.
I think he started working his business in November and went Emerald in April. So we had a great time. We probably spent 4 or 5 hours together, just talking and learning, just trade and talk, and just what works, what doesn't work, all those things. And I know Megan asked, how are they killing? I mean, he'll have, like, all of his guys are winning all the silver stars.
He has more.
Like every month they win.
He has more guys on his team than all of
Plexus. So the thing is, Megan was like, so what's he doing? And I was like, quite honestly, nothing different than any of the rest of us are doing. He's just outworking us all. Like, it was insane.
Yeah.
He was involved in like over 100 three-way calls. Like, we were sitting there and his phone was just going beep, beep, beep. It was insane. I'm like, what? Should you get that? He's like, no, my guys are good. He's like, me and these 3 guys are in 45 three-way chats. And I thought, well, there you go. He's just, there is no magic secret pill, or, there is no shortcut. He's just making it happen. And he's working tons of hours a day. You'd have to have that many calls, but it was really encouraging. It was really fun, and it was really challenging because I'm a competitive guy, and I'm like, his phone's going crazy, and I was like, man, I don't think mine even went off. Like, I need to get some three-way chats going, so it was really good to be there with him and just to learn from somebody else, that's really doing a great job and having fun doing it. So that was fun.
If you guys haven't checked out his YouTube channel, It's called what? The Plexus Locker Room?
The locker room.
The locker room. Coach Mike.
Check him out. They're just working really, really, really hard, and they're having a lot of fun doing it, and they're doing stuff that no one's really seen before. I mean, the locker room call that they do is just kind of quirky and fun, and it's just, it's different. It's some guys that weigh 300 or 400 pounds that are losing some weight, and that's what they're doing. They're all middle-aged athletes, or like a truck driver. It's pretty cool to see what they're doing.
Yes. So remember, 90% of our success is excitement. And that's what Coach Mike is doing. He has excitement rolling.
We got the pom-poms. We need pom-poms. Daily dose of pom-poms from Angie and Kathy.
Yes. So I know I took some notes from the Jewel call, but they were just saying, you can watch the momentum or you can be a part of it. And so our encouragement would be to engage in that momentum and really engage the people that have lost their belief or their vision. And you have to remember, you are the sparkler on your team. You have the power to go ignite the flame or reignite the flame for people. When I was sitting in that room in Dallas, one of the things that struck me was that I was sitting in a room of master inspirers. I was just like, it just struck me like, wow, these people have poured so much belief and encouragement and creatively, worked their business, but how all of us have that opportunity as well, but we have to engage with people and we have to believe in them and believe it's possible for them. And if you are struggling to believe it for yourself, you better believe you're probably struggling to believe it for somebody else. And so you showing the way and showing them what's possible. I mean, the fact that you're ranked up to silver or super silver or gold or senior gold, that's showing your team what's possible. And so I just want to encourage us all, myself included, to not miss the train. Don't miss the boat. Get excited and engage people. And also load your bases this month. I know we did a, kind of a front load your month VIP call last night. That was fabulous. I still need to get the recording out to those of you who missed it, but that had earned it. But even if you missed that by 1 or 2 ambassadors, there's still time to go max out that incentive, adding your 3 or your 6 or however many that you have a goal to add this month, and also to develop the people on your team. So go on a huge recruiting blitz this month. Step on the accelerator and do not be afraid to have that $380 conversation with every new person that starts, because guys, those fast start bonuses, hello, you can make $1,100 in your first month if you help 10 friends. I mean, how many of us that would have done that if we would have been challenged to do it, or just if we would have had someone talk about it with us and help us do the things, right? So those are my encouragements to us all, myself included.
I got one statistic to leave with you. I love statistics. Half of them are wrong, but they're fun anyway. Anyway, I just want to say this one statistic with Mexico. I'm re-engaging with Mexico because they got their stuff together. The first launch that they had really didn't go as expected for many reasons. Several people have been let go in Mexico on the corporate level. Good ones have been promoted. There's a new guy in charge of all of Latin America. He's in Puerto Rico today, actually. And I met with him the other day. And this is one thing he told me, because I was talking to him about Mexico, because I really want to build Mexico. It's a goal I have for several different reasons. And he said, Justin, do you know the #1 source of revenue in Mexico for people? And I said, no, what is it? I thought it was like travel or hotels or something. He said the #1 source of revenue for people in Mexico is money being wired from the relatives from the United States, which I thought, that is amazing. He said, my point in saying that, Justin, is that the source to Mexico, the way to get into Mexico is not necessarily, so you can go to Mexico if you want, but that's not necessarily the best or fastest way. The best way is from right here in the United States. And he said, so start networking where you are. Start networking, Mexican restaurants. There's tons of different opportunities we have just right here in the US Hispanic market, and they're all connected to Mexico. and they're sending money back to Mexico. He said, so that would be the angle that he recommended. So I'm just sharing that because I thought it was an amazing statistic. And it tells me that the opportunity in Mexico is right here, probably in our city, or right here in our local area. The connections to Mexico are right there. So don't be afraid to hit Mexico right at your local Mexican restaurant. You know, start up conversations and talk to people. Ask them where they're from in Mexico. And I think that opportunity in Mexico is still, it's so big. Like just now, Canada is starting to blow up, and Canada has been going now for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And just now, a couple years later, Canada is starting to take off. So how fun it would be to be a part of that in Mexico or whatever other country. So don't be afraid. Don't think you have to go to Mexico. Just start right where you are and you start having some conversations with people. Just be careful, because the cheese dip that comes with like chips and salsa, I really like. And if we eat too much, then it kind of blows the whole health and wellness thing we're trying to go for. But so you have to balance all that out. But I think the opportunity is huge.
Great excuse to go eat some pasta or tacos. Like, I'm hungry for those right now.
Yeah, those are good.
Really fast, we were on a call with Matthew Aarons. He popped on with our Jewels, just special call for our team. And he was running through the incentives for this month. Guys, Plexus has literally rolled out the red carpet for us all to load our bases. So remember, it's 75% off the joining fee right now. Normally it's like almost $40. Right now it's $9.95. Plus discounted welcome packs. Remember, the welcome packs are 10% off automatically. It didn't show that at my checkout, by the way, but it does take it off when it actually processes. So don't freak out there. And then you can use one of the promo codes, like one of the coupon codes from the little boxes, or the same 2020 promo code for an extra 10% off, or whatever, $20 off if you have one of those coupon codes. So remember that. And then remember that if you add 3 level 1 ambassadors, you're not a fast start person, you can make a $75 bonus. And if you add 6, I think I have it written down as $300. Correct me if I'm wrong. But basically, you adding level 1s, it's going to give you extra bonuses, not just your business building bonuses, but extra bonuses this month. So it would behoove us to go, do the things and add. Also, for you developers developing fast starters, which we all should be, did you know that you get $50 as a sponsor? So if you have someone fast start, you get a $50 bonus for helping them fast start. So that's super cool too.
Hey, can I add something real quick?
Yeah.
So if you add 3 this month, it's an extra 100. And if you add 6, it's an extra 200. So that's 300.
Oh, wait, why did I have 75?
It was that, and then they changed it.
Oh, okay, so they bumped it up.
They bumped it up. So if you get 6, it's an extra $300 just in bonuses, not even like,
Not including the fast start stuff. That's just for all of us sharers that were already promoted. Cool. Awesome.
Bingo.
Okay. Guys, any other quick questions before we hop off here?
Wendy, I'm a big fan of the cheese dip myself. I can't help myself. It's hard.
I'm hungry.
No, it's too late. We got to go to bed. Okay, no other questions? Okay.
All right, well, we're obviously still available to
reach out
questions if you have stuff that pops up that you're curious about. So, okay, hi-ho, here we go. We're heading into Magic Week, guys. Time to make some stuff happen to the end of the month.
Okay.
All right, bye, guys.
See ya.